Talk about this. With a rise in gun violence in the U.S., President Joe Biden wants to focus on gun dealers as well as more funding for law enforcement and community initiatives.
Yeah, filmmaker Charlie Minn has covered some of the mass shootings, and his latest documentary takes a closer look at the shootings in El Paso, Texas in 2019.
Someone who came from outside of our community to do us harm. A community that has shown nothing but generosity and kindness to the least among us.
Joining us now is Charlie Minn. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. This is such a powerful documentary, and I want to dive right into it because it's a hard story to tell. What drew you to this kind of filmmaking?
Well, Betty, first of all, thank you for having me this morning. My films represent innocent people who have been murdered, so certainly the El Paso Walmart mass shooting would fall under that. We have a racism problem in our country, along with innocent people being murdered. And in El Paso, we had a criminal from Dallas drive 10 hours out of his way because of his utter detest towards Mexican people. This needs more activism, awareness, attention, and certainly a lot more dialogue because you can't solve a problem unless you talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and your documentary certainly is doing that, right? Bringing this to the forefront. Who are some of the people that you spoke to in terms of your research that we're going to see in the film?
You name it, across the board, Dan. We talked to people that were shot, family members, direct witnesses. I don't mention the killer's name once in the movie. I hope the media will follow my lead and stop giving these dirtbags any attention because I think that creates copycats. We have to keep the killer's name out of the media altogether, so I'm trying to start a movement with these documentaries. But the people that were directly affected are interviewed in this film.
And so is there a way through this powerful type of filmmaking to kind of bridge the gap and find some kind of solution to what you stated very plainly is racism in this country? And we're seeing that racism play out into deadly shootings, deadly beatings, Stop Asian Hate situations that are cropping up, and we're trying to stop the violence there. How do you use something like this to help that?
Well, I kind of touched on it earlier. We need a heck of a lot more dialogue on this thing. We need more smart activism, not just any activism, but focus activism. We need a lot more attention drawn towards this thing. Me being Asian American, every day when I walk out of my apartment in Manhattan, I'm ready. And we all have to be alert. Our head has to be on a swivel. Races have to come together and start dialogue. We need to talk to each other rather than about each other. So we just have a problem across the board in our society with hate, racism, innocent people being gunned down. I'm not here to tell everyone, hey, we're here to take your guns away. No, innocent people are being murdered. I hope we'll all agree about that. We agree about that in America, but then we disagree on how to fix that problem.
Right. You know, you've done several documentaries on mass shootings. I mean, Parkland, Pulse nightclub. You know, and then there's just so many people know about, right? There was what happened at Columbine, and you look what happened in Connecticut at the elementary school. So it's been going on for quite some time. When you tell these stories, you talk to the lawmakers, you talk about that change, right? But that change has to sometimes come in terms of a law. Are you seeing anything move in terms of lawmaking?
No, nothing impactful, Dan. I mean, we have a problem with people just talking and not enough doing. It's really getting sickening. And this country right now has become a joke with all the gun violence. We had another incident last night in Times Square. I mean, when does it end? At any given moment, you can get shot. While we're all talking this morning, Dan and Betty, someone's being gunned down in our country. And again, I'm not here to take away your gun. I'm just saying we have a problem with innocent people being murdered, period.
Yeah, but every time we see this, Charlie, and you mentioned earlier, we need to talk more, but then you also said we're doing a lot of talking, but we're not seeing a lot of legislation. So how do we get there? Because you've continued to document this time and time again with these shootings, right? Showing the evil, showing the atrocities that are occurring in this country. But how do we spark that change? I know you don't have the answers to all of this, but you've seen firsthand the victims. You've talked to their family members. How do you bridge that gap, as I asked earlier?
I would say the Parkland shooting in Florida 3 years ago would be a great model. I think all of us have to speak up more and become more activists. We have too many people in our country just saying, oh, that's terrible. Hey, what's for lunch today? We just don't have enough doers. Yeah. We have enough people just saying, too many people just saying, well, as long as it doesn't affect me, I'm okay.
Right.
I mean, that's a garbage attitude to have. We all have to come together and ask ourselves as Americans, what do we do to minimize innocent people being gunned down in our country? I tell you that the Parkland kids were amazing. The activism film there.
Right.
So I think that should be used as a model.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because they did create change, positive change out of that. Charlie Minn, we appreciate the work that you're doing. We appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, and the movie will open in Cinema Village this Friday, by the way. At 3
Yeah, that's what we're just throwing up on the screen right now. It's called 9:15. It's going to be opening, like you said, Cinema Village in Manhattan this Friday, July 2nd. Very powerful. Thank you, Charlie.
Absolutely. An important conversation there because he's right. We can talk all we want, but we need to create some kind of positive change.